I pulled into my driveway after 6 days in Vegas, expecting peace. What I got was a blinking red eye staring down from my own oak tree, like some cheap Big Brother knockoff. Welcome to Willow Trace, Arizona, where the sun bakes the desert sand, the lawns are xeriscape to HOA perfection, and one woman named Harriet Renshaw has decided the entire neighborhood is her personal fiefdom dressed up as community standards. My name's Vincent Blake. 38, contractor, lives alone, minds his own damn business. Or at least I tried to. The cameras weren't subtle. One jammed into the trunk of my tree, another under the eave of my garage, aimed straight at my front door, and probably my living room window if the angle was right. I stood there in the 105-degree heat, phone out, snapping pictures while my blood started to boil. The click-clack of sensible heels announced her before her voice did. "Vincent, back from your little trip?" Harriet Renshaw cooed, clipboard in hand like it was Excalibur. Pastel cardigan buttoned to the neck despite the heat, oversized sunglasses hiding eyes that missed nothing and forgave less. "We had some concerns about security while you were away. Packages lingering on porches send the wrong message, you know." I turned slowly. "You drilled cameras into my tree and my garage without asking. On my private property." She smiled that thin, righteous smile. "The board voted on temporary measures for the safety and harmony of our community. The guidelines allow preventative actions when a home is unoccupied." "Guidelines?" I laughed, low and sharp. "I've read every page of those bylaws twice. Nowhere does it say you can trespass and install surveillance equipment." Her smile twitched. "Well, we interpreted." "Interpreted?" I cut her off. "Lady, you just committed trespassing and illegal surveillance. Hope that clipboard feels worth it." I didn't wait for her reply. Marched inside, grabbed my own tools, and spent the next hour carefully removing her little spies, bagging them with gloves like evidence from a crime scene. Because that's exactly what it was. By the time the sun dipped, Officer Ramirez from the local PD was in my living room reviewing footage from my legitimate backyard camera, the one I installed myself. It showed Harriet and 2 bored cronies sneaking onto my property with ladders at dusk. "Mr. Blake," he said, rubbing his chin, "this ain't standard HOA stuff. This is straight-up criminal trespass." That's when the real fun began. I called my buddy Evan, a former prosecutor turned private attorney, who owed me a favor from a kitchen remodel. Within hours, he'd reviewed everything and was grinning like a shark. "Vincent, they've got no leg to stand on. But it gets better, or worse for them. Those cameras? The garage one has a clear line into your living room. If they recorded anything inside, we're talking felony privacy violation in Arizona." Meanwhile, I contacted Everline Property Solutions, the management company overseeing our HOA. The regional guy, Darren, sounded like he'd been expecting this call for months. "Harriet again? Listen, we've had complaints. Send me everything." The next morning, neighbors started showing up like it was a block party nobody invited Harriet to. Samira from 2 doors down, single mom, our nurse, brought coffee. She came to my door asking about suspicious activity at your place. Pressed me hard. I told her to mind her business. Old Mr. Callahan, former board member, slipped me a folder. "Compare these bylaws." She rewrote sections last year without a proper vote, added temporary monitoring language, and deleted the notification requirement. Classic Harriet, rules for thee but not for me. The altered documents were damning. She'd basically given herself a blank check for spying, printed it in the newsletter, but the version filed with the county clerk told a different story. Forgery. Fraud. The words tasted sweet. But the real dagger came in an unmarked envelope on my porch 2 days later. Inside, printed emails between Harriet and some shady ex-contractor named Gary G.B. Benson. "Make sure the tree cam angles toward the windows. I need to know what Blake's hiding in there. Not safety. Not community. Personal vendetta." Because 6 months earlier, I'd spoken up at a meeting against her ridiculous fine for my non-compliant desert landscaping, which was actually perfectly within code. Harriet Renshaw wasn't protecting the neighborhood. She was hunting. Word spread faster than a desert wildfire. By the emergency board meeting that weekend, the community clubhouse was packed. Harriet strode in like a queen, flanked by her loyal subjects Ken and Lorraine, looking like they hadn't slept in days. She took the podium. "We're here to clear up some misunderstandings about our proactive safety initiative." I stood up, holding printed emails and police reports high. "Misunderstandings? You trespassed, installed illegal cameras pointed into my home, altered official documents, and used association funds to pay a disbarred contractor for it. Officer Ramirez has the evidence. Everline has suspended the board pending investigation. The room exploded. Story after story poured out. Families fined into poverty over garden gnomes, threats over paint shades slightly too warm, intimidation tactics that made people afraid to live in their own homes. Harriet's face went the color of spoiled milk. This is outrageous character assassination. No, Harriet, Samira called out. This is called consequences. Something your little kingdom forgot existed. The fallout was swift and merciless. Everline launched a full audit. Police seized computers from Harriet's house. The dashcam footage from Pete down the street caught Gary Benson creeping around my yard the night before the cameras appeared. 2 weeks later, handcuffs clicked on Harriet Renshaw's wrists in her own driveway. Charges: criminal trespass, unlawful surveillance, wiretapping, misuse of funds, and falsifying documents. Felonies that carried real prison time. In court, her defense tried the "I was just trying to protect the community" angle. The judge wasn't buying it, especially after the audio from her own illegal camera played, her voice whispering, "Zoom in more, I want to see inside his house." Guilty on all counts. 18 months in state prison, 5 years probation, and banned for life from any HOA board. The neighborhood changed overnight. We rewrote the bylaws from scratch: term limits, full transparency, no surveillance without a warrant, and actual votes that required real majorities. No more clipboard tyrants hiding behind harmony. Samira's on the new board now. So is Pete. Mr. Callahan advises with that old brass gavel engraved, for the people, not over them. I sit on my porch most evenings now, watching kids play without fear of fines, neighbors actually talking instead of spying. The air feels lighter without the weight of constant judgment. But here's what keeps me up at night. Harriet Renshaw didn't start as a villain. She was just a bored retiree who tasted power and got drunk on it. The system let her. The rest of us let her, until one guy with a camera of his own said no. So tell me, folks, was Harriet the monster, or just the symptom of every HOA gone wrong? When does protecting the community cross the line into straight-up tyranny? True or false? The real abuser of power finally got the karma she deserved when her own spy cams turned on her? Drop your thoughts below. Whose side are you on when the HOA comes for your tree?